Miss Sally, I wasn't able to print out the test papers because my printer is not working now.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Miss Ellie.
Good afternoon. Okay, let's read this. Angeline?
While looking out of the bedroom window, Maggie spots a figure standing in the shadows outside her house. She immediately goes to find her father, Mo. There was still a light on in Mo's room. He often stayed out reading late into the night. Maggie had inherited a love of books from her father. When she took refuge from a bad dream with him, nothing could lull her back to sleep better than Mo's calm breathing beside her and the sound of the pages turning. Nothing chased away nightmares faster than the rustle of printed paper. But the figure outside the house was no dream. The book Mo was reading was bound in pale blue linen. Later, Maggie remembered that too. What unimportant little details stick in the memory. Mo, there's someone out in the yard. Her father raised his head and looked at her with the usual absent expression he wore when she interrupted his reading. It always took him a few moments to find his way out of that other world, the labyrinth of printed letters.
Okay. Now over here, we know that Maggie and the father love books. Okay. And they both live in the world of books. But right now, somebody is outside. And when Maggie told the father that there's somebody out in the yard, he in the beginning didn't quite believe it because he was so into his book. So let's see how he responds. Let's have Olivia read.
Someone out in the yard? Are you sure? Yes, he's staring at our house. Mo put down his book. So what were you reading before you went to sleep, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Maggie frowned. Please, Mo, come and look. He didn't believe her, but he went anyway. Maggie tugged him along the corridor so impatiently that he stubbed his toe on a pile of books, which was hardly surprising. Stacks of books were piled high all over the house. Not just arranged on bookshelves, the way other people kept them. Oh no. The books in Mo and Maggie's house were stacked under tables, on chairs, in the corners of rooms. There were books in the kitchen and books in the lavatory, books on the TV set and in the wardrobe. Small piles of books, tall piles of books, books thick and thin, books old and new. They welcomed Maggie down to breakfast with invitingly open pages. They kept boredom at bay when the weather was bad, and sometimes you fell over them.
Okay, so now we know they both loved books and it's everywhere. So this is to tell you that father and daughter are very, very immersed in their stories. But anyway, coming back to the stranger, this is the second time Maggie is telling the father, yes, he's staring at our house. Now, when Mo put down the book, he said, what were you reading before you went to sleep? Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? So you know that the father is very playful with the daughter. Reading horror again, Jekyll and Hyde. That's why you see the figure outside, but actually it's not right. So there's this playful banter within father and daughter. Okay, let's read the next page. Z, read.
He's just standing there, whispered Maggie, leading Mo into her room. Has he got a hairy face? If so, he could be a werewolf. Oh, stop it, Maggie looked at him. Maggie looked at him sternly, although his jokes made her feel less scared. Already she hardly believed any more in the figure standing in the rain, until she knelt down again at the window. There, do you see him? She whispered. Mo looked out through the raindrops running down the pane and said nothing. Didn't you promise burglars would never break into our house because there's nothing here to steal? Whispered Maggie.
Okay, so another detail now we know is that they are actually poor. They don't have anything valuable to steal. Yeah? Okay. Now, let's read this, Ellie.
He's not a burglar, replied Mo, but as he stepped back from the window, his face was so grave that Maggie's heart thudded faster than ever. Go back to bed, Maggie, he said. This visitor has come to see me. He left the room before Maggie could ask what kind of visitor. For goodness sake, turned up in the middle of the night. She followed him anxiously. As she crept down the corridor, she heard her father taking the chain off the front door, and when she reached the hall, she saw him standing in the open doorway. The night came in, dark and damp, and the rushing of the rain sounded loud and threatening. Dustfinger, called Mo in the darkness. Is that you? Dustfinger, what kind of name is that? Maggie couldn't remember hearing it before, yet it sounded familiar, like a distant memory that wouldn't take shape properly.
Okay, so if something sounded familiar, like a distant memory, that you just cannot form it, it meant that she heard this name when she was a young child. Understand? She just didn't understand it, that's all. There's just a vague memory of it back in the at the back of her mind. Now, for the more to call that guy Dustfinger, and you know that is not a real person's name, right? If you call the person Dustfinger, now this kind of name tells you that they were actually doing work that was secret in the past. Okay, so we know a little bit more detail in this way, yeah? Now, the minute Mo realized that he saw his face first, and then he said, he's not a burglar. His face became grave. He was joking before. Was he a werewolf? Were you reading, Jekyll and Hyde? And so now he's grave. Maggie could see the change in her father's face, and therefore she followed him closely. And here is a foreshadow. The night came in dark and damp, and the rushing of the rain sounded loud and threatening. This guy is going to come in, a very dark figure in their past, and he came from the rain, and he could be somebody threatening. So it's a foreshadow, huh? Okay, let's read this, Ray.
At first, all seemed still outside, except for the rain falling, murmuring as if the night had found its voice. But then, footsteps approached the house, and the man emerged from the darkness of the yard. His long coat, so wet with rain that it clung to his legs. For a split second, as the stranger stepped into the light spilling out of the house, Maggie thought she saw a small furry head over his shoulder, snuffling as it looked out of his rucksack, and then quickly disappearing back into it. Dustfinger wiped his wet face with his sleeve and offered his hand. "How are you, Silver-tongue?" he asked. "It's been a long time." Hesitantly, Mo took the outstretched hand. "A very long time," he said, looking past his visitor as if he expected to see another figure emerge from the night. "Come in. You'll catch your death. Maggie says you've been standing out there for some time."
Okay, so now we know, Mo's other name, aka, is Silver-tongue. They have not met for a long time. They were doing secret work many, many years ago. Now, why is it, and can anybody tell me why is it Mo was looking past his visitor as if he expected to see another figure emerge from the night? Why? Can you? Why? Why was he looking past
Because
Dustfinger?
he had another acquaintance.
Who had another acquaintance?
Both of them.
Both of them had another acquaintance, probably. That means they weren't the only two in this espionage work. There could be somebody else. Or it could be in the past, whenever they had to go to somebody in the middle of the night, they never went one by one. They went in twos. So he would have gone with Dustfinger, or Silver-tongue and Dustfinger went together to meet any person that they were supposed to meet. So it's like force of habit. And so he was looking, where's the other guy that is accompanying you to come and see me? You're not going to come and see me in the middle of the night and say hi, bye. You definitely have some things to bring out, huh? And so, okay, this last bit, Sinu?
Maggie, Ah, yes, of course. Thus Finger let Mo lead him into the house. He scrutinized Maggie so thoroughly that she felt embarrassed and didn't know where to look. In the end, she just stared back. She's grown. Remember her? Of course. Maggie noticed that Mo double-locked the door.
Remember? He is expecting that there is somebody else. To double lock the door is to make sure that that intruder would not come in. So therefore, there's a lot of tension and suspense in this story. Okay, and Maggie didn't like that Dust Finger was scrutinizing her thoroughly, looked her up and down, and she felt, that like she was under a microscope like that, and she didn't like it at all. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put the name. Never mind. Angeline, number 1. Olivia, Olivia, you don't have the printed one, huh?
What helps Maggie?
Mika's number 2, wait. Angeline, number 1, Mika's number 2, Ellie, number 3. Read the
What
question.
What helps Maggie get to sleep after a bad dream? Her father's presence and the sound of his calm breathing and the rustle of pages turning.
Okay, his breathing and the rustling of the pages, huh? Number 2, Mika's.
But the figure outside the house was no dream. What effect does the writer create by using this single sentence paragraph? Suspense. The writer creates a suspense effect.
Okay, so when you hear somebody say, let's say telling a story, and then the person say, it's no joke, Da, 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 da. So when they say no joke, when you say it's no dream, that means it's reality, you immediately impact the hearer that what you're going to say or the effect that it's going to be is that there's a lot of suspense, that something is thrilling, something is exciting, or something of a tense moment will come. Fear even, because it was no dream. Okay, now just from that little passage that we read, we know that the bearer didn't come with good news. He came at midnight. It won't be good news, understand? If people got good news to tell you, they come early in the morning to your house, not in the middle of the night. Okay, number 3. Ellie?
Explain in your own words how Maggie's father looks when his reading is interrupted. Like he was deeply interested in the book.
Or you could say he's lost in his book, right? He's lost in the story, and he's got this faraway look. Maybe he looks blank. He's just lost in the story, basically. Okay, the next one will be Sinyu, Z, Ewan. So 4A is Sinyu, 4B, Ewan. 4B, you do the 2, Ewan. And the third one, number 5 will be Ray. So Sinyu first.
Okay. Books on the TV set and in the wardrobe, small piles of books, tall piles of books, books thick and thin, books old and new. Give one way these lines emphasize how many books Mo and Maggie have. They use repetition of
Repetition.
the word books.
Okay. How else do you emphasize many books? Repetition will show you many books. What else?
They give various examples of the books. Like they give
When they say old
list
books and new books, what is that? What is that? Old books and new books. What is that called?
contrast.
Contrast. Okay. So this is how they bring the emphasis. They use contrast. They use repetition. One more.
They list like all the different like kinds of books.
Yes. So any one of them will do, repetition of the word books, a list of different kind of books, the contrast, old, new, thick, thin, tall, small. They are opposites, ma. Okay. 4B. 4B is Z, isn't it? Or is it even?
It's
Even, is
X,
it?
yes.
Even, okay.
Look at the phrase, stacks of books were piled high all over the house. Lines 19 to 20. Write one quotation from the text that shows a problem caused by the books. Stubbed his toe in the
You stub your toe. Now, they give one quotation, so it has to be an actual quotation. Stub your toe. There's another one. There's another quotation to show that there are too many books. Can you find another one?
not just arranged on bookshelves.
No. A problem. Not just that you bring out that you have many books, a problem. You stub your toe because too many books around. What was the other problem? Anybody can see it? Angeline?
I remember there was this one quotation at the back that is like, you could even fall over them.
Yeah, you fell over them. Okay? Too many of them. So you have to look at the problem part. Okay, what about the good part? Z, number 2. Write one quotation.
Write a quotation from the text that shows a benefit of the books. I think it's,
The good
not
thing
just
about
arranged
books.
on books.
Say again?
Not just arranged on books. Not just arranged on bookshelves the way other people kept.
Nope. Benefit, the benefit. Just now was a problem, now is the benefit. Having many books, what's the benefit?
You can read the book anytime, whenever you want.
No. Because what is the benefit of having so many books? Because there in the passage, you cannot see it. Ellie?
You can't, like, they won't get bored.
You have to quote it. They ask you for a quotation. That means you quote verbatim.
They kept boredom at bay.
Correct. It kept border. You have to quote it. The other one is breakfast. The books welcome her down with inviting open pages. Right. Number 5, Ray. And number 6, Jala.
Has he got a hairy face? If so, he could be a werewolf. Line 27. What does this quotation suggest about Mo's character? He is playful.
Or he likes to tease Maggie, right? He's playful, but you need to connect with Maggie, You just, if you say he's playful with Maggie, if you just say he's playful, no. He's playful with Maggie. All right. Number 6, Jala.
How does the mood change when Mo sees the figure standing in the rain?
Mood, at first he's very playful. How does mood? How do you know the mood change?
He suddenly was like worried.
If it suddenly became worried, the other one is he looked grim. Okay? Or the mood becomes grim. The mood is very worrying. The mood is very anxious. He is no longer making jokes because when he saw him, You see, for that person to make you look grim, that person, the things that he's involved in is not something he wants Maggie to know. Do you understand? Okay, next one. Number 7, Gabriel. Number 7, Gabriel. And then number 8, Marissa. Gabriel, read.
What is the underlined phrase an example of? Tick one box. Alliteration, hyperbole, metaphor, or personification. Personification.
Personification. Why? Because we're talking about, except for the rain following, murmuring as if the night had found the voice. So they are talking about the night. Okay, making the night like a human being. All right, number 8, Marissa.
Explain in your own words how the writer uses the night and the rain to create atmosphere. Line 40 to 50. Support your answer with examples from the text.
Okay, can you tell me how many marks this question gets? Question 8?
3.
3 marks, which means to say there will be a few phrases. Okay, so they say support with examples, that means more than one. Which word? Which word creates an atmosphere? See, the way they describe the night and the way they describe the rain created a tense atmosphere, right? Which words created that? Yeah, which words created that?
All seemed still outside except for the rain falling and murmuring as if the night had found its voice.
Oh, you're talking about here. Yeah, this part also. But what about this? Because it's line 40, from 40 to 50. So go down sequentially. Is there anything here now? Is there anything here?
The night came in dark and
Yes.
loud, and rushing of the rain sounded loud and threatening.
Okay, so this one, what are the words about the night and what are the words about the rain? This is about the night. About the rain, just now you quoted, yeah, the rain falling, murmuring, as if the night had found its voice. Okay, any more words about the rain or the night, Nana? Any more?
His long coat so wet with rain it clung to his legs.
Okay, his long coat so wet. So this is about the rain, so now you have to support your answer with examples which you already did. So you said night came in, dark and damp, rushing of the rain, loud and threatening. All right, then about the rain, rain falling, murmuring as if the night has found its voice, long coat, wet with rain that it clung to his legs. So the points that you glean from 40 to 50, because it says support your answer with examples. So you can just say it this way: the night is described as an intruder or an unwanted visitor, isn't it? Isn't it an unwanted visitor? Or you can say damp and dark, dark and damp is an alliteration. The dark and damp is an alliteration emphasizing that the night is unpleasant and it creates a gloomy mood. So if you want to comment on this, it will be this. This one will be this. Follow now. Guys, this is how you support your answer when you are able to pick out how it created atmosphere. It's like writer's effects. Follow? Then what about rushing rain? The rushing, falling, murmuring, loud. Okay, this is to describe the rain, making it continuous and making it sound very heavy. So it created an atmosphere. All right. And the next one is the description of Dustfinger's drenched coat. The long coat clung to his legs, makes the rain seem unstoppable, relentless. So this created an atmosphere. So actually the first two is the best way to describe it. There are more than that, but this will be the best one. Clear? Now, you said number 8 got how many points? 3 points, 3 points, okay. Number 9, back to you, no, Jala hasn't done yet. Jala, number 9. And number 10, go back to you, Angeline. Number 9.
Which two features from this suggest it is from a mysterious story?
Mystery story, not mysterious story.
The withholding of information.
Okay. What's the other box?
Is it
Hmm?
a nighttime setting?
Now, the withholding of information, like there's no explanation of dust finger. There's no explanation of silver tongue or whatever, what the other nickname. So there are a lot of things that they didn't tell us, but we sense that the atmosphere. Okay, back to you, Angeline, number 10 and number 11, Mikas, because Olivia didn't print.
Explain in your own words Maggie's reaction to dust finger. Support your answer with examples from the text. Maggie feels scared, anxious, and trapped in the presence of dust. We can see this from the phrase burglar.
You can see from the face, you have to, if you say something, you have to give the example. Now, they give 4 marks here, you know. Explain the reaction and give the quotation.
The quotation
I'm
is
surprised they give 4 marks, because it says support your answer, you only need to give 1 answer. Unless it says support your answers, they give you 4 points, you must have at least 3 answers.
Didn't you promise burglars would never break into our house?
Oh, okay, about the burglar one. Then,
She followed him anxiously.
she provoked, okay. Now, did she say that when she saw dust finger? She just saw a figure, right? She didn't know it was dust finger yet. At that time, she didn't know. She just saw a figure. Yes? Any other? Use one that is a direct confrontation of dust finger and Maggie. When was that? We read towards the end something. There was an interaction between dust finger and Maggie. Remember now?
When
Read
she
that again.
scrutinized her.
Yes, he scrutinized her. That was the best example. All right, so there are a few. She was confused. She felt she knew him. Remember, there's this vague name. The name is strange. She felt she heard it before. So if you didn't see that part, never mind. Now it made Maggie curious because he was digging into the rucksack. This one is not so clear. This one is very clear. She felt embarrassed. Why? It was the way Dustfinger looked at her. Okay? Or this one, she felt uncomfortable and she didn't know where to look. So this two is almost the same, but it is the most clear-cut interaction between Dustfinger and her. You only need to give, oh, sorry, you have to give all 4 to get 4 marks. Yeah, we are asked to give 1 mark. You're supposed to get 1 mark if you get, oh, this is going to be confusing. They should have put support your answers. Oh, examples. All right. Support your answer with examples from the text. If they say support your answer with an example, then it's 1. Sorry, it's 4. Each point gets one mark. Okay. Number 11 is Mikas.
What 2 things do we learn about the past relationship between Mo and Dustfinger? We learn that Mo and Dustfinger are very close with each other and they work together, which is secret.
Okay. They knew each other a long time ago The other thing we can say is that they were involved in something secret that required that they had special names. Now, if you just say they had something secret, but where did you get the information from? You should link it with hints. Their names were hints. Yeah? All right. After Mikas is Ellie. Number 12. And then number
Right one.
13 is Sinyu.
Write one quotation from the text which could explain why Mo double locked the door.
It's a quotation.
Look-
You can quote.
Looking past his visitor as if he expected to see another figure emerge from the night.
Okay. So this is because quotation is easy, huh? So Mo double blocked it because he expected another figure. Number 13, Sinyu.
Explain in your own words how you can tell that Maggie and Mo have a close relationship.
How many marks does this got? Has this got?
4.
Okay, then 4 points still. Look for 4 points.
They have the same interests in like books.
They have this, how can you tell? They have the same, okay, the
They
same
have a
interest in
very
books.
similar interests. Mo is a very comfortable or reassuring person. He reassures Maggie.
Okay, he reassures her. How,
Like
How did she reassure her?
he
Look
will
at the text. It says that it made her less scared. What did he do to make her less scared?
tell jokes.
He tells a joke. So this is how you show that he's close. He tells a joke to reassure her or to make her less scared. Okay, another one. Do you think he believed that there was somebody outside?
No.
No, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Maggie kept saying it. What did he do now?
So he actually went to look.
Okay, so that shows you they have a close relationship, meaning to say Mo didn't believe that there was somebody outside, but he still went to look. Okay, one more.
He is
So what you say was he reassures her by telling a joke.
yeah.
He went outside to see, even though he didn't believe there was somebody outside.
And they have the similar interests.
The similar interest in books,
Yeah.
Okay, similar interest in books.
He is protective because like Mo asked her to not meet the stranger and asked her to go to bed.
No, that will be any father would do that. That doesn't show that they're very close. Okay, here, he makes time for her. Okay, this one you got it. He went outside even though he didn't believe. He made her less scared by telling jokes. Remember, he teases her about being a werewolf outside. Okay, so this making time for Maggie, I suppose you won't see this lah. You won't want to put it this way. But if you say that they both have the same interest in books, that can show their close relationship. That was acceptable. Okay, now come to number 14. Read for me, Gabriel. Write a story.
Write a story which begins with two people waiting for someone. You should consider the people who are waiting. Are they friends, members of a family? Do they work together? The setting. Where are they waiting? What happens when the person they are waiting for arrives or does not arrive? A and B is waiting for C to show up at a train station. A and C are married but were separated by the war. Now they meet to reunite. B and C were childhood sweethearts, but C moved away to another country to work before the war started. What happened when C disembarked and both A and B spotted her or him at the same time?
Okay, it can be either way, yeah, because in those days, women can work in the army. Okay, not as soldiers, but maybe, I mean, some are as soldiers, but some like a clerical kind of work. So it's up to you how you want to put it, whether it's 2 girls and a boy or 2 boys and a girl. Usually 2 girls and a boy, lah, huh? All right. So so this is I'm just going to give you a very rough one. You will do everything yourself. I want to see what you can come up with. Describe the scene, who are meeting up. So you actually need to describe the awkwardness, or the anticipation through their eyes or their body language. Make the reader feel that they both are nervous and excited about meeting C. A and B is nervous and excited about meeting C, understand? So this is the scene. All right. Now, the setting is at this train station. And so now you explain who is A and who is B and who is C. And describe the noisiness of the train, people rushing past, maybe they got pushed to the side. So it's paragraph 2 is very like a tense atmosphere because you are in a very busy area and and people are just streaming out. You can't even really see where C is coming from. But eventually they do see C. Okay, so this part is to either, you have to tell from one person's point of view, you're either A or you're either B. You cannot be C. You're either A or you're B, and then what happens when they see? So you got to resolve the problem that you brought up yourself. Okay? Angeline, this should be a good try for you. I hardly gave you anything here. So as mentioned to you, you always start with vocab. Okay, I give you a hint. You always start with vocab. When you describe scene, look for vocab here. When you describe scene, you look for vocab here. Then look at the words that you have chosen. Then you go back to the setting of this one. This part, okay, maybe I bring it forward so that you can see it better. Okay? Understand? Everybody? This one, did they say what was the word count? Can you all just check? I don't think they gave word count. Yeah, they won't give it. Okay. You stick within my usual that I gave you. 300 to 350. And the title is awkward. Okay? Now, I don't want you to say C didn't turn up. There's no point telling the story. C must turn up. Okay? Don't you think C knows A and B waiting? So C may have the answer. C may have the answer. C may give the answer, and A and B have to decide whether they will accept the answer. Understand? Don't give it a stalemate. You know what's a stalemate? That means they cannot go forward. This issue must be resolved. Okay. Let me activate the essay. Does everybody understand the story or not? Sign. It didn't mount it up. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mount it up yet. I have to mount it up now. I thought I mounted up. Okay. I will load up the other one later, the information. Let me give it to you now. You can go into it and there's time, you start doing your looking for your words.